This is not CompTIA, which will be MCQ. You're gonna just like learn different stuff and you're gonna pass. No, that's not gonna happen. It's a super practical exam, and you need to know why the heck you're doing or running a specific command. There's no shame in watching walkthrough videos, right? I mean, for some reason, like people have made it like, oh my god, you're gonna watch walkthrough. You don't know shit. No, man. I mean, yeah, I don't know right now, but maybe I will get better over time. So if you don't know or if you don't understand a specific thing, you can get the official writer from Hack the Box itself, or I mean, there's a god level guy or a really awesome person called Ipsic. He makes some like amazing YouTube videos, and I have me personally, like I have seen a lot of videos, and from him, like I have learned a lot of stuff. I would recommend to go and search for Ipsic Hack the Box, and I was able to score my first flag within 2 or 3 hours. Like struggles on flag 9, and it's quite hard to be honest. Not gonna lie, this was the only part in this exam where I felt like, oh shit, I'm gonna fail now. I mean, trust me, like flag 9 is hard. And there are places where you're gonna miss something, right? We all are human, and you will struggle and you might end up crying too. The whole like believe, or I thought the whole like reporting part to be the whole like marketing gimmick, right? In this video, I will try to share my experience with Hack the Box CPTS exam. Um, but before starting out, I just want to say some things, right? I'm not the YouTuber, right, who can make some really dope videos. Like I'm kind of young, still trying to learn stuff. You might find my videos to be a bit raw, unfiltered. But hey, like we will like improve over the with time. So yeah, like let's get started, right? Before diving into the whole like Hack the Box CPTS cert itself, I would like to give a small introduction about me, like who am I, right? I mean, you guys probably don't know me, right? So like who am I? So I go by the name Hack on the internet. I'm currently in my final year of high school. Beside like Hack the Box CPTS exam, I hold various other certifications like Hack the Box CBBH, CompTIA Pentest Plus, and EJPT. Like why not? I also work as a content engineer for a company, and that's a part-time gig which I do, and that work like mainly revolves around me doing cloud security related research work and making labs. um I also do like freelance slash contract based pen test work for different company. Again, it's a part-time gig, can't do full-time for obvious reasons. I have a lot of experience with Hack the Box, like the boxes on Hack the Box, because I have done about 150. Okay, so I was just checking right now, right? So it's about 170 user flags, I believe, or 176 user flag. I could be wrong. I have to check that again. But it's definitely more than 150 user and root flags. So here, and I have also done like a lot of like rooms on Hack Me, about 200 plus rooms. Again, this is not a flex. I just wanna prove or like tell you like whatever I'm gonna say like is something which I know. Like so here. Let's get into like the more CPTS side now. Like why do you know about me? I'm just a random guy. So let's talk about like some CPTS requirement. Again, these are like not official requirements. These are like things which I believe a person needs to know before starting Hack the Box CPTS exam itself. um so like if you go and ask this on like Hack the Box Discord server, a lot of people will say CPTS Path from Hack the Box is enough for CPTS exam, which is true, right? Which is true. CPTS Path is enough, and you won't get anything outside that path. So which is somewhat true. However, like if you're like just starting out, don't have a lot of experience, um with like pen testing or hacking side, you might struggle. Um, by the way, a quick backstory, right? I have done like some volunteer work with different organizations, and those like uh I should say like those like programs were made to like help out people. um they were like n- they were like more like NGO type, like we were like they were trying to help people from I don't know how to put this correctly, but um places where like people don't get a lot of opportunity, right? They were trying to help them out and teach them like cyber skill. And during that program, like they chose CPTS, like, right, starting with the CPTS part, because it seemed like very practical, and it was like, again, it was like very pocket friendly, so they started with CPTS, but since a lot of people were like fairly new, like into cybersecurity, um, uh, most of the people were like not able to complete the CPTS part, and I'm pretty sure like if you don't match those requirements, right, the one which I believe one needs to know, which is basic knowledge of like networking, Linux knowledge, some level of knowledge of hacking, and a willingness to like learn, and the whole like never give up attitude, if you don't have that, I'm very sure like you will end up dropping out of this like course, or you might get off track, and yeah, you might not be able to complete the CPTS part itself. Again, could be wrong, and you can disagree, and you can share your like opinion and comment, typical YouTuber guy. So like by the way, like I made a post on Twitter, and I asked like a lot of people like if they have any questions related to CPTS exam, they can ask me and I can try to answer over there, or I will try to cover it in my video, right? I will be covering those questions like in between the videos, so please like don't get bored and don't stop watching the video, so like someone asked me like what should I do like if I'm just starting into cybersecurity or pen testing, or if I'm like very new, right? To them, like my answer would be like I would recommend the whole thing which I said earlier, which is I recommend starting with basic networking concepts, Linux. Um, at the same time, like you can check out various modules on Hack the Box Academy. Like you can check out modules like intro to like Linux fundamentals, I believe, intro to Windows, intro to Active Directory, intro to networking, and intro to like Python, I believe. You can do them like before starting the whole like CPTS part, like if you're just new and want to get some more experience, at the same time, like if you don't like Hack the Box Academy, or you want to get your knowledge from other sources, uh again, that's your choice. You can go and watch videos on YouTube like of your own choice, right? um my next step is to start doing boxes on Hack the Box. um this step will like apply once you like start doing the whole like CPTS part, and you are like let's say like 25%, 30% into the part. You should be good enough to start out Hack the Box, right? And again, like one thing which I will repeat in this video will be like try to like be like as much practical as possible. This is not CompTIA, which will be MCQ. You're gonna just like learn different stuff and you're gonna pass. No, that's not gonna happen. It's a super practical exam, and you need to know why the heck you're doing or running a specific command. So try to practice as much possible, I would say. And if you're new and just starting out Hack the Box, a good starting point could be like Hack the Box has a whole feature called Starting Point, which is very low level, but I will skip that for now. I would say like if you're, let's say like you have started CPTS part and you have completed Metasploit module, right? After that, you can start doing boxes on Hack the Box. You can start with the very first box, which is Blue. It's quite easy Windows box, and it's like exploiting a public CVE. If you get stuck, right, you can again. There's no shame in watching walkthrough videos, right? I mean, for some reason, like people have made it like, oh my god, you wanna watch walkthrough? You don't know shit. No, man. I mean, yeah, I don't know right now, but maybe I will get better over time, so if you don't know, or if you don't understand a specific thing, you can get the official writer from Hack the Box itself, or I mean there's a god level guy or a really awesome person called Ipsic. He makes some like amazing YouTube videos, and I have me personally, like I have seen a lot of videos, and from him like I have learned a lot of stuff. I would recommend to go and search for Ipsic Hack the Box. And let's say like you start a box and you have completed it, you can still watch his videos to see like what he does, like why he does, if you're not able to complete a box, you can go and watch his videos and try to understand he's run why exactly he's running a specific command, or like why exactly he is doing this, right? You can go and get the whole like experience from him, like he's an amazing person, an amazing content creator, better than me, um also like if I'm also like thinking to like get into the competition and challenge if sick, so like if you're like interested, I can make a playlist and try to cover boxes which I believe can help you prepare for CPTS exam. If you are interested, comment down below. Typical YouTuber, eh? um Now like let's talk about the pricing part. Oh wow, I lost my headphone. Now let's talk about pricing, right? So the exam cost itself is like 210 bucks. You will see something on the screen, I don't want to keep this video this raw, like that will be me. But yeah, like the exam cost itself is like 210 bucks. But the training cost like is like I would say variable or varies from people to people. If you are a student, right? I mean, students like me get some amazing deal, like we can get the entire CPTS path or access to the CPTS path for around 8 bucks a month. um which is quite affordable. If you're not a student, shame on you. Sorry, I can't say that, right? If you're not student, like you have to like you probably will be making money, if you don't, like I gotta work hard, man. Again, I'm sorry like if I'm hurting anyone's feeling, because it's 2024 and you have to say that. But uh if you're not student, you have to probably pay around I believe around 68 bucks. It can go as high as 68 bucks a month. But again, Hack the Box offers a lot of like ways how someone can buy your access or do their course, right? So you can get the top tier like monthly subscription, which is 68 bucks a month. Or I mean, I believe this one to be much better, which is an annual subscription to Hack the Box. Again, I'm not a sales rep. I'm just sharing from my experience. Like if you get 1 year silver annual subscription from Hack the Box, you will get 1 year voucher from Hack the Box. Uh, Not 1 year voucher. Like one exam voucher for exam of your choice, like could be CBBH, CPTS, or CDSA. You get access to like uh entire module till like tier 2, I believe. Which is basically like covers the entire training material for CPTS, CBBH, and CDSA exam. I find like the silver annual to be a lot more valuable, but again, at the end of the day, it's your like task, like what you want to choose, right? And I'm not a sales rep from Hack the Box, but but I'm part of their like referral program. So if you want to buy let's say CPTS silver annual or any other subscription from Hack the Box, you can check out my link down below. And again, I just want to mention like I will get some commission out of it. But it won't cost you like anything extra, right? So let's say like if you're paying something like 490 bucks for silver annual, you'll be paying the same amount to Hack the Box, and I will get some part of it as a commission. But if you don't want to do it, it's completely fine, because no one is forcing me, and I'm still broke and will remain broke. But yeah, I mean, if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine, and I can understand it. um Now let's talk about my journey, mates. So let's talk about my journey with Hack the Box CPTS part itself. I'm not going to talk about the exam itself right now, because when I'm recording this video, it's like about 5 o'clock in the morning, and I have to go and sleep, right? So I'm going to record one more section, and maybe other section you can find it in in this video only, right? So let's talk about my initial journey with the CPTS part. So I got my Hack the Box Academy silver annual voucher in July of 2023. But I started studying for CPTS around from October. And the reason for that huge gap was that during that time, like where I do like freelance or contract based pentest gig, like they wanted me to go for pentest plus, and me being me, I was like, why not, right? So during that time frame, like I was studying for my pentest plus exam, and in September I passed my P plus or pentest plus exam with flying colors, and immediately like I jumped into CPTS because hey, like CPTS is cool and a lot more fun than MCQ based exam, so that's like some my story. um Also, like one more thing, like you all know, like I'm a student, and the whole like I used to get very little time for my CPTS studies, right? I used to okay, so I'm not sure. For some people this number will be might be a lot, but I generally like studied for like probably 3 hours a day from 12 a.m. to 3 in the morning, and then I would sleep and go to school, do normal stuff, come back, do some work stuff, then jump back into the study. It was my day. um Now it took me about around 5 months, right? Technically it was around 5 to 6 months. It took me to like complete the CPTS part itself. um and also, like, since you all know I did CBBH, so I did not went through the whole CBBH material, which is the web part. I just did every other module except CBBH or the web app part. So excluding like the web app part, it took me about 5 months, right? And I believe it should have taken me like a lot less time, like let's say 3 months. But during that time frame, like I was doing a lot of work, like I had school. I started streaming, right? I started streaming on Twitch, I started streaming on YouTube. And they were not so success, but hey, we just need to start someday, right? I also like ended up doing some pen test work with different people, and I started my internship at a company, which was like later like converted into a paid part-time gig. So that's like some of my journey. Some other one is that after completing the CPTS part itself, I went in and did Dante, and I believe I'm not sure about the exact time, how much time I took for Dante right now, but it was around a week or maybe less than a week. I'm not sure. I probably have to go and take a look at my notes or whatever I have. Um, then I did about 50% of Cypher, and the main reason like I couldn't pursue Cypher was that I was in a whole like dilemma, you can say. Like I had to start CPTS exam because my schools were about to start, like from 13th, and I had to complete my exam before 10th, right? So I started my exam and left Cypher, right? Because, and one more reason for like Cypher, like me not pursuing why I couldn't complete Cypher was like some of my skill issues, some skill issues, then some problems with my time. But hey, we just have to deal with it, right? But again, like they did not like hurdle. I mean, me not doing Cypher or not being able to do Cypher did not like stop me from going in and trying my best with CPTS exam itself, right? Um, Enough talking about me. Now let's talk about the CPTS part itself, right? So, so the CPTS part itself has about 28 modules. It's massive. It's massive. I mean, uh, it's crazy. It's gonna take you a lot of time. So, I just want to give some facts, right? According to Hack the Box, Again, me being me, a typical Gen Z, I'm not sure how accurate this is, but I believe it's somewhat accurate. You can trust me, trust me, bro. So like according to Hack the Box, like it will take you around 1.5 to 2 months if you study 8 hours a day, right? Not happening. But yeah, man, I mean, CPTS Path is like kind of massive. It has like 28 different modules, but it has almost every other thing which you need to know to start your job as a pen tester. I would say like the CPTS Path itself is like amazing and a lot of like learning over there. So I just want to give a quick structure like how the CPTS Path is, and I hope my editing skill will be good enough to add a video up here. If you don't see a video, my editing skills suck and I should stop making videos. So the exam like starts with basic modules which teaches you like what pen testing is. So the very first module is like pen testing process or something like that, where like you learn some basic concept about pen testing, some terms I would say which you need to know. Then the other module happens to be getting started. As the name suggests, you get started, right? Over there, like it gives you like all sort of like tips and tricks, I don't know, which you need to know for CPTS part and the CPTS exam. It teaches you like in what order to study the modules and how to study it, yada yada yada, and I believe a brief description about the module itself. um it also like teaches you like what are stuff or what are different labs which you can go and do for to practice for CPTS exam, right? Again, it's not super technical module, but I would recommend to go and read everything from that section very carefully, because man, at the end of the day, like you are alone in this fight, like you, you have to pass CPTS on your own, and you need to make better plans, and I believe the getting started module can help you with that. um Now other than that, let's jump into the hacking modules, right? I mean, Hack the Box does some like really great job and make sure like they cover some basic concepts. Again, editing magic, should you should see something on the screen now. Um, so basic concepts like Nmap, information gathering, vulnerability assessment, stuff like that. Again, those are like some crazy good module. And even like if you're like a professional, right? Uh, you still need to look at them, because you can't skip any modules in CPTS part. You have to complete 100% of CPTS part in order to even go and start the exam itself. That's Yeah, I think that's the only one requirement to start the exam. um but other than starting the exam itself, I believe like even if you know or you do a lot of pen test work, I still believe like there are a lot of stuff for you to learn. I personally like I got to learn a lot of stuff, like even from the basic modules, right? So yeah, I mean, I would recommend to follow the modules like order. Don't jump around different modules. Again, at the end of the day, like you are the one studying for it, and you have to make better decision for yourself. I personally found studying modules in the order to be helpful for me. I don't remember what I did for CBBH, that's but I do remember it's something I tried to follow for CPTS itself. So yeah, like you try to follow the CPTS part in the structure, like as it's mentioned by Hack the Box, like one module after another. Don't jump around between modules, right? Then Hack the Box makes sure like you are well aware about all sorts of like vulnerabilities, right? So you get to learn about web app attacks, like different types of web app attacks, IDA, XSS, SSRF, LFI, you name it, and they have it. SQLi, man, that will drive you crazy if you can't perform SQL injection manually. I'm not gonna say, but man, you got to learn it. um then other things are like some more into the internal side, which is um Active Directory. And no joke, Active Directory is the, probably the biggest module in this like entire CPTS path itself. It will take you crazy amount of time to complete it, and I'm very sure you will possibly cry doing it because eh, again, a lot of stuff they cover into the Active Directory module. And again, those are things which you need to know, I mean, to perform your job as a pen tester. But again, a lot of stuff they cover, and you have to learn a lot of stuff. And you will, I'm repeating myself, I don't know why, but you will cry. But it will be well worth it, because uh once you complete that module, right, I'm very sure like you will have a lot of confidence with pen testing Active Directory. At least you will have some really core fundamental knowledge about pen testing Active Directory, like awesome stuff. Make sure to study that module very carefully, because you're gonna see a lot of Active Directory in the exam. And I will talk about Active Directory like later in this video. Why not? Because I'm trying to be a YouTuber who is trying to, like do YouTube stuff. So later down below, like you will find, if I don't know if I'll talk about it, but yeah, you should find something about Active Directory because it's important. Um, Now some other modules will be like, you will see Windows privilege escalation, which is good. Linux privilege escalation, and some other like basic things. Um, but but and I will probably talk about this like later on, where I will be criticizing Hack the Box, right? Uh, but one criticism which I will say right now is that, uh, again, a backstory, right? So when the whole like when I started with Hack the Box, um, it was like you have whole like information in front of you, right? You go learn it, then you have to go and do some practical labs, and you have to answer certain questions. If you can't answer them, you will get stuck, and you probably gonna get stuck, and you probably will not be able to move forward, or I should say you will not be able to complete a module. Or you go out, touch grass, and ask random people like, hey, I'm kind of stuck and can you help me with it? Because trust me, like when you will do CPTS part itself, right? And you are if you are currently, yeah, I mean, let me continue, right? So like if you are like just starting with the CPTS part, you're gonna struggle a lot. Like even if you're like a professional, you won't believe me. Like you're gonna struggle, and there will be modules or questions which will make you cry because it's not easy, right? But yeah, you're gonna struggle, and it's hard, but it is what it is, right? I mean, you're trying to be a pen tester. Um, but later on, Hack the Box came up with an update. I mean, again, Hack the Box has some really good people in the community, and they try to help you, right? But again, at the end of the day, like they are also like normal people, and sometimes they might not be able to help you, right? Hack the Box came up with an update, and this was when I was doing my CPTs, right? Hack the Box came up with an update where anyone who had silver annual subscription or higher will have a feature called Discord ticket or Discord help, I don't know, where like if you end up answering a question wrong for, let's say, more than 3 times, you will get an option to create a ticket and ask the Hack the Box staff itself, and they will provide you support on Discord. You know, uh, again, that was kind of good, kind of bad, because let's say like if you're doing your job and stuff, uh you want to complete a specific module or a specific section itself, when you get stuck, you have to wait for other person to reply, and sometimes even hope for them to reply. Most of the time I found their reply to be quick, but again, they are like normal people, right? I mean, they can't be online 24 hours a day, And when like we all like live in different time zones, right? I mean, you could be in North America, someone could be in South America, India, Asia, China, not China, Japan, some other place, so again, that's something which I believe to be a good initiative, but not good enough. And then Hack the Box came up with a very recent update where again, which is applicable for only people with silver annual and higher, where if you get stuck, you can directly view the solution, like a walkthrough, like how to do a specific question, which is again kind of debatable topic. A lot of people will say it's bad, a lot of people will say it's good. I mean, I would say it's good because it will save you a lot of time, but I can definitely understand the argument from the people who say that feature to be bad and people will not struggle. And I believe struggle in CPTS is very important, and you have to cry before getting that sword, getting that sword, you know. So yeah, I mean, those are some things which I wanted to mention. Um, Now, the other part, again, I don't know why I'm talking here, but the other criticism is, I mean, could be like, again, it could be me issue, right? But what I found, like, I start most of the time, like, I did my studies like late in night, right? Right, late in night, which was from 12 a.m. to 3 a.m., right? And most of the time, like, I was tired or didn't have a lot of energy, and whenever or maybe even though I had, since I'm Gen Z, right, kinda have low attention span, not someone who reads a lot of book. Could, again, it's probably me issue, but what I found was like uh me banging my head against a huge wall of text and trying to figure out stuff. uh but I mean, if I don't know if it's possible, but if Hack the Box can add some sort of a video for like different things, which I believe to be really helpful. For example, if you go and check out Intro to Active Directory, which is not part which is not part of CPTS part itself, but I believe you will probably end up doing it because you need to know Active Directory. Not You need to have some basic Active Directory knowledge before performing any sort of an attack, right? And I believe like that module they could have made one video, right? And I believe for me it would have been a lot more helpful because I find video material or video resources to be a lot more engaging, at least to me. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people gonna disagree. And again, we live in a free world, so you are free to disagree with me. And if you disagree and have different opinion, comment down below. um but yeah, like that's my opinion about the video part. Now, oh god, I have done so much talking, right? I hope I didn't. I hope like this video is like not that boring, right? That's something which I can hope for. And this video seems like more like an raw video of this like dumb kid talking different stuff. But now I'm gonna share some tips with Hack the Box CPTS Path, like how you can approach that massive monster and try to complete it properly, right? The very first thing which I would say is try to make good notes. Try to make good notes of like different attack vectors which you saw. um Different then make another notes for the skill assessment, and then make another note for, let's say, the questions which you did, because why not? And and by the way, I just want to say, like, in Hack the Box CPTS exam, they take the reporting part very seriously. And if you don't meet certain requirement with the reporting part, you will end up failing it. And I have a backstory about it, and I will talk later in this video, because I don't know, I mean, but yeah, Hack the Box takes the CPTS Hack the Box takes the reporting part quite seriously. And if you make proper notes, right, it will help you at least with the writing part, right? And if you make proper notes for skill assessment and the questions which you see in between different sections, I believe it will greatly help you with the whole reporting side and will make you good enough to take proper screenshots, how to write down of how to write down a walkthrough, or how to write down a tag chain, uh so try to make notes. It's gonna be a lot highly valuable for you. I mean, you can go back to your notes and try to understand a specific attack. The other part will be like try to make a cheat sheet, right? Try to make a cheat sheet where you have mentioned some common attacks, right? Let's say you can have a web attack like um, how you can create magic file headers to bypass file upload restrictions. You can have cheat sheet on how to perform curb roasting, password spraying. That's totally on you, dude. I mean, however you want to do it, but try to make a cheat sheet for yourself. Um, and it's the only cheat sheet with which you can cheat. Oh my god, that was such a lame joke, bro. Uh, this is gonna be in the video. I would. And the other part is like I've said this thing again. I've said this thing earlier, but I will say it again, which is try to complete the Hack the Box modules in the same order, i.e., from top to bottom. My other tip, and this is for the exam too, is to practice again. I've said this again, and try to practice as much possible. Like practice makes everyone perfect, right? Try to do as much retired boxes on Hack the Box. If possible, I don't think Hack Me will help, but hey man, I mean, some extra practice won't hurt. But try to stick with Hack the Box for now. The other thing could be like you can go and do Pro Labs, right? Dante and Cypher. But Hack the Box recommends, I believe, offshore, but I'm not sure about offshore right now. Uh, I don't remember from whom I heard. I, Again, I'm not trying to spread misinformation, but I believe the at least the active directory part of Cypher is quite similar with the CPTS exam itself. Maybe not exactly similar, but at some level it is, right? And trust me, you will learn amazing like lessons from Pro Labs itself. Uh, Again, this is gonna be part of the whole tips for the exam too, but practice as much as possible. Um, the other tip would be in the CPTS part, I will attach a image up here, which will be documentation and reporting module, right? Try to complete that module. Okay, so I just want to give a description about it, right? So, documentation and reporting module like covers basic how to make proper report, and a lot of people tend to like just go through it or just complete it for the sake of completing it, but you will regret doing that because Hack the Box has some higher standards when it comes to pen test report, and a lot of people have failed, including me. So yeah, try to complete documentation and reporting module. Try to take like documentation and recommend. I can't say, man. Try to take documentation and reporting module seriously and try to read every line of it carefully. Don't skip anything within it, right? Everything is important. You need to know how to make executive summary. You need to know how to make a proper executive summary. You need to know how you can write an attack chain, right? Now the other thing which you can do is um like try to like make good notes of it, and good notes of like the documentation and reporting module, and go and do a practice of it, right? So let's say you go and complete an end game on Hack the Box. You can try to make a pen test report and try to make pen test report of like different labs and maybe you can contact or ask your mentors to like share feedbacks, um not super sure, but you can probably ask your mentor like, hey, I did a box on hack the box and have made a pentest report, can you help me evaluate it, right? Or you can do a retired endgame on hack the box, and I don't think it's against TOS, which is terms of service. You can make a pentest report of an endgame, like a retired endgame, and you can ask your mentors or some other people like, hey man, I did this box or lab on hack retired lab on hack the box, and I have made a pentest report, can you help me evaluate if it's good enough or not? Because you have to practice for that reporting part, you can't skip it, it will haunt you like if you skip it. My other tip would be, there's another module, quite important one, which is attacking enterprise network. And I believe, yeah, so like my tip would be like try to complete that module without looking at the solution provided by Hack the Box itself. Try to approach it as a actual pen test, because that module is supposed to be like, let's say that module is supposed to be more like a practice exam for you, right? So try to approach it that way, right? So let's say you get an IP or a scope, try to approach it on your own way and try to make your own methodology. Like, hey, I got a bunch of IPs, a bunch of subdomains. What I'm gonna do? Like, should I run nmap? Should I do like some other sort of an enumeration? Then hey, I got a reverse shell. What should I do? Right? What should I enumerate? I'm on active directory DC, what should I do? Like, those are like some things which you have to figure it out on your own. Again, Hack the Box does provide a whole like detailed solution or explanation, but I would say try to approach that module uh, in a blind manner. Approach that module in a blind manner without not a lot of information about it, right? Try to treat it as a practice exam, or maybe like you can take it a step further and try to treat that module itself as an exam, right? And try to see like what, on which areas you are good and on which areas you are not that good and you can improve, um again, like practice are like these like labs like this will make you better, and 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 it might help you reach the final goal, which is being a good pen tester and being certified for Hack the Box CPTS, Hello, ladies and gentlemen. New day, new me, a new hack. But hey, like, now let's talk about uh the Hack the Box exam itself and my entire journey, right, with the exam itself. So, let's talk about CPTS first, like the exam itself. So, some knowledge about some knowledge about or some stuff about Hack the Box CPTS exam is that it's 10-day long exam. Crazy, right? About 14 different flags and in around like 7 or 8 machines. um I don't know, like 7 or 8 machines, I don't remember. And you need to capture 12 flags, which is 85 points. And and at the same time you also need a professional grade pentest report in order to pass the exam. And some other stuff are like, um it's 10-day long exam, I have talked about it. Some other things are like, let's say like if you end up failing the exam, right, you have to like restart that exam under 14 days of getting the feedback from Hack the Box. I forgot to add one more thing, which is, let's say, um Hack the Box like offers one free retake, and in order to get that one free retake, you have to start the exam and upload your pentest report in order to be eligible for one free retake. If you don't do that, you will not be eligible for the free retake, and you have to get the new voucher. Now let's talk about the entire journey with me. Now let's talk about my entire journey with the exam itself. So I started my exam on 23rd of April around 12:30 p.m. and I was able to score my first flag within 2 or 3 hours. I'm not super sure. It was around 2 or 3 hours, and my second flag took some time, like surprisingly it took some time. I got that flag on the next day, which was, I believe, 24th. I got that flag around 9:45 a.m. After that, like, I found most of the flags to be easy. I mean, they weren't super hard. They took some time, but it was not like I was hard stuck on some place. So, like, I just want to add, like, I've heard a lot of people on Hack the Box, or like on the Hack the Box Discord, saying them being stuck on initial foothold for a couple of days, like 2 or 3 days. um I don't know like what exactly they are doing wrong, but personally, like, I felt the foothold part to be easy. I mean, it was tricky. I won't say it was just piece of cake. No, it was tricky, and right now, like, I think there could be only one reason, which is uh they are not doing proper enumeration, or they are missing something which is very critical. And trust me, um if you miss something in this exam, right, let's say if you miss one X thing, um you might not be able to move forward. So the exam is like, you have to put one box. In order to put the other box, you have to put the 41st box. It's like, I mean, you can go and watch some other video like from CryptoCat, and he explains the whole thing like quite properly, right? But yeah, and one quick tip will be like, from me, like, one quick tip will be to focus on proper enumeration. Try to make your own automation or your own methodology, like, what kind of a enumeration should I do, like what kind of a command I should run for enumeration, and how should I approach a target, right? And you can practice, or like, if you don't know anything, like, let's say, uh, if you want to like build your like methodology, like, the very best way could be to to try to get a job, which might not be possible. The other one could be, um, go and do like attacking enterprise module, right? Try to see, like once you are like completed it, try to read the whole like write up or the walkthrough which they provide, or I should say the explanation, and try to focus on the whole like enumeration part, and try to see like what exactly they do with the whole enumeration or information gathering part, right? um what they do, like after running nmap command, what they do, like, do they go and check out for subdomains, or do they target a specific port and try to enumerate much further, right? um Enough about that. um let's jump back to the whole like CPTS exam now. So within the exam, the only place where I struggled was flag 9. Like everyone else, like yeah, almost everyone else like struggles on flag 9, and it's quite hard, to be honest. Not gonna lie, this was the only part in this exam where I felt like, oh shit, I'm gonna fail now. I mean, trust me, like, flag 9 is hard. And there are places where you're gonna miss something, right? We all are human, and you will struggle, and you might end up crying too, right? I mean, I'm not a crybaby, so I did not cry, but if you are a crybaby, you might cry, But yeah, like, that was the only part which I found to be very hard. And also, like, the flag 9 is all about Active Directory, and Active Directory is the only part which I find myself to be I find myself to have like some skill issues, I would say. I believe I'm not the best guy with the whole like Active Directory, I would say. um but yeah, like, I found Active Directory in CPTS to be a bit hard. At least for me, it was hard. I struggled like crazy in it. But yeah, now let's talk about let's um move forward. So after like getting the flag 9, I found the next 3 flags to be easy. They were not that difficult, right? And it took me like about 1 or 2 days to get them. Maybe, I think it was 1.5 day to get all 3 flags. Um, Now, like, so overall, it took me about 5 to 6 days to pull or to do the entire technical part, I should say. And the reason why, like, I was able to get or I should say, the reason why I was able to pull the whole like machines within 5 or 6 days was my whole like mindset, or I would say a bad attitude. And the reason why I'm saying a bad attitude was that I was pushing myself to like extreme. Like from extreme, I mean like me staying up for 30 hours, 30 plus hours, and there was a yeah, there was a point where I was for more than 30 plus hours. I was hacking, or I was on my computer for like 20 hours a day, or maybe it was more. Yeah, it was near about 20 hours. I was sleeping for 4 hours, and my routine was like sleep, jump back to my whole like computer screen, eat and do like hacking, right? So which was bad. Like I did push myself to like extreme, which was bad. And and the reason why I'm saying it's bad, like other than I mean, it did affect my health, but other than that, it also like uh affected my performance with the whole CPTS exam itself. I found myself to be, let's say, I felt like being burned out. I had no real motivation after that. Like once I got the whole passing point, I genuinely had no motivation. I had no energy, and I should say like I completed the report just for the sake of completing it. And I submitted it, right? I and also at the same time, or during that time, I had the whole like belief, or I thought the whole like reporting part to be the whole like marketing gimmick, right? Which was not true. Later I found that to be not true, because I ended up failing on my first attempt, and it was due to the whole bad report, right? So they would be take the whole reporting part seriously, guys. um but I'm not an idiot, right? I On a second attempt, I worked really hard on my reporting part, and I ended up passing it, I ended up passing it. I ended up passing on my second attempt. And the reason why I failed my first exam, like, was the whole like bad report. But um in my report, I did not include executive summary. Like, yeah, I did not include executive summary. I did not have proper walkthrough for the tag chain, proper screenshots, yada yada yada. Right? I will be honest. I should have taken the whole reporting part seriously on my first attempt, but I was all burned out. I had no energy left. Some parts which I did not like about CPTS. Spoiler alert: there's not a lot of stuff. So I personally like. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying this over here, but I personally found CPTS exam to be really fun. But a CPTS has a problem, which is the whole waiting period of like 20 business days for 20 business days for your whole like report, or for your whole like feedback, or I should say the result, which is way too long. I personally believe the whole like 20 business days to be way too long. Again, we are paying like what, $210 for the exam. We can't really ask more, but again, like 20 business days is, at least I felt 20 business days to be very long, and it was a bit depressing and kind of sad. And it was really like stress. I used to like the whole like waiting period was like really stressful for me, because on my first attempt, I had the whole like realization that after like once I submitted my report, and when I was charged back up, like I had the whole energy. I had a feeling that I'm gonna fail the exam because of a bad report. Like I used, like, almost every other day, I used to go and check my pen test report, the one which I made for CPTS, and I used to read the whole report, and I used to be like, oh shit, I forgot this, I forgot that, right? um then the other part was, almost every other hour I used to check Hack the Box dashboard or the exam panel to see whether I have received the certificate or my feedback or not. So again, I'm kind of hyper excited person, you know. I personally found the whole like 20 business days to be a bit too long, and I don't know, like I personally believe Hack the Box should at least try to fix this one, you know. Like 20 business days is long. But now let's talk about some tips for CPTS, right? The very first thing which I would say is to practice possible. Try to do as much boxes on Hack the Box possible. I will probably add a list. Try to do those boxes at first. Then try end games like Pooh, and then go and do pro labs like Dante and Cypher. My next tip is to start practicing on note keeping part. Try to make good and proper notes with proper screenshots. Then the other thing which I would say like to is to chill out, don't stress, you know, like just believe in yourself and just start the exam, you know. My next tip would be for those like who have already started exam or who are in the exam now, is to like if you get stuck somewhere, right? If you get stuck somewhere, try to move on and try a different attack or different techniques, right? Let's say like if there's one endpoint, like you're attacking a web server and you find one I should say one endpoint, and you believe it has SQL injection or command injection, and you have tried bunch of things but you can't get that working. Maybe try to look out for some other vectors or other endpoint which could be vulnerable, right? Don't be hard focused on one thing. If you are like hard focused on one thing and you give or spend too much time on it, um you will probably end up failing the exam. So don't be like hard stuck on one place, right? um my other tip would be like to start working on your pen test report from the very same day you have started your exam. What you can do is like at the end of a day, like at the end of every day during your exam, what you can do is like add you can add your findings to the whole like pen test report and move on, you know, like it will make your life a lot easier. Just make a habit, like, or try, or maybe during the exam make a habit that at the end of a day or after doing the whole like hacking work, I will go back and work out my report and I will try to add my findings. All right, so like if you're like still watching this, all right, so this is it for the video now. If you're like still watching this like random internet weirdo, thanks for watching it. I hope this video was good enough for someone who is just starting the whole like CPTS exam, right? I know like I have a lot of stuff to work on, the whole like how I present something, but trust me, um, I will be, I will I will get better over time, you know, like in a year I will probably improve. Like when I started the whole YouTube, I was terrible, but I'm getting better. So here, thanks for watching it. I really appreciate it. And if you want to buy Hack the Box CPTS voucher or annual subscription, you can use my affiliate link, right, which will be in the description. So go and check it out. And thanks again.